How's everyone doing? Good? All right, awesome. So it says retail supply chain. It really should say professional turn up to 11er. Because ever since I was a kid, all I ever did was turn it up to 11. You give me a challenge, and I was kind of the type of person that would say, all right, that seems kind of easy. What can I do to make it harder? Like my dad always says, there's the easy road or the hard road. You know, the hard road makes you more of a stronger person. So I was the type of kid that you put me on a bike with training wheels, I look down and I go, I don't need these training wheels. It's just going to slow me down. Take the training wheels off, go down the hill. That's kind of the way I always looked at things. I always challenged myself. Whenever I was 18, I was struggling with hurt back. When I was 16, it started to hurt. Then when 18, I finally got diagnosed after 2 different doctors said, you have a stress fracture in your L4, L5 lumbar. You'll never be able to play contact sports again. During that time, I was playing ice hockey. I always had admirations to play ice hockey in college. After hearing you won't be able to play contact sports again, I was like, all right, doctors, what do you guys know? I'll prove you guys wrong. So I sent both of them a picture of me playing hockey at Syracuse University about a year later. So a lot of that is just kind of leading up into this accident. I was always the type of person that even after college, you could find me in the woods. You could find me outside. You very rarely could find me watching TV, watching movies, sitting inside, saying I'm bored. I'm active. I enjoy being outside more than anything else in the world. You get me out in the woods, that's where I belong. So turning it up to 11 obviously involves motorcycles. So after I recently moved to Nashville from Denver, Colorado, I was riding my motorcycle for the entire day. It was a great day. And after a long day of riding, you get a little tired. You start to realize, all right, it's kind of done. You know, I'm not really 100%. And when you're riding a motorcycle, if you're not 100%, you're just putting yourself at risk. So I was starting to head home. And right before you get to my neighborhood, there's a right turn you can make that is a beautiful back road. And a good song came on. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take that right turn. I'm going to take that right turn. I'm going to do one last little ride right before the end of it. I was really wanting to go on that road because it was under construction for about 2 months, and it finally got out of construction. I saw a beautiful paved road, so I'm like, you know what, that's it. Took the right turn, started riding on, and during that back road, it dips down into a valley. And in that valley, there's a left bank and then a left turn. I went through the left bank, went to go to the left turn, I turned my bike, and my bike didn't turn. And I just kept on going straight. I'm like, all right, well, this is awesome. And I looked in front of me. I had probably about like a second to make these quick decisions, and I saw a fence, and this fence was blocking cows and or horses. I couldn't tell you. And this is a strong fence. I mean, it could hold back a cow and a horse. It's like, you know, you get a strong fence in front of you, and you're like, okay, what do I do? I see a telephone pole there, and I see iron rods. Do I try and lay the bike down? Do I go into the fence? So I decided I'm going to, you know, take this the hard way. I put my head down, tucked into the bike, went right through the fence. I was thrown on the ground almost immediately. I was right on the side of my back. I look up at my bike. I go, my bike's still running. It's a good day. And then I take a look down, and I go, well, that doesn't look right at all. Take my helmet off. I kind of look down again, and my right leg right here was completely pointing in the opposite direction. Clean break right through the femur. That's the reaction I always get. Just see when I tell my family. They get it too. So I look down, and I'm like, first thought is, well, that sucks. That's not good at all. And my instant survival kicks in. I'm also, like I said, outdoors person. I could throw me in the woods for a week with my backpack out in Colorado. I survive perfectly fine. So my instant survival kicks in. I go, okay, I'm clearly bleeding internally. I'm clearly heavily injured. I need to, 1, keep my heart rate down. 2, I need to contact emergency services. 3, I need to figure out what's exactly wrong with me. So the first thing I do is I call my mom. So I get on the phone, I call my mom, I'm like, hey mom, how's it going? You know, how's your night? She's like, good, your dad just got home, he's sleeping already on the couch, we're watching the Bourne Ultimatum. I'm like, oh, you guys are gonna watch the Bourne Legacy after that? I think that's my favorite one. She's like, good, so how are you? I'm like, I'm doing good. I put my bike down, so, you know, kind of hurts. She goes, oh, it's okay, honey, you can just ride home, right? Just ride home and then figure out, you know, if the bike's okay. I go, no, mom, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. She's like, how bad is it? Kind of gets a more serious mom tone, and I'm like, okay, keep the heart rate down. Got to keep her calm so then she keeps me calm. I looked and I go, my leg's done. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm done because it's pretty sure I ripped up that artery. And I'm like, and my leg is now 4 times the size of what it was when I first called you. First thing she says is, why are you calling me? Why aren't you calling 911? Starts getting angry at me. And I go, well, Mom, I'm calling you because I think this is the last call I'm going to be able to make. And she goes, why are you so calm? I'm like, well, if this is the last call I make, I'm glad it's with you. And I've looked back at my life, it flashed really quickly, and I go, I'm happy. I don't have any regrets. And she goes, okay, well, I don't believe that. Call the cops. I'm like, all right, cool. So I hang out with my mom, and I take off my belt, which is the belt I'm still wearing, and I tie it around my leg right here to stop the bleeding as it starts getting towards there. And I go to pull out my phone, and it goes, emergency services dialing, and it won't connect. I'm like, all right, Google. I have a Google phone. I'm like, all right, Google, I guess you don't want me to make this. So I keep on trying to call the police, and I realize it's not getting through. I'm laying in a ditch. It's now dark out, and I'm wearing a black leather jacket. So I pull out the flashlight on my phone. I start hitting the SOS Morse code. First car drives by, stops, pulls forward, pulls back, looks at me, and I go, hey, can you do me a favor and call the ambulance? He goes, yeah, no problem. His wife or girlfriend or date gets out of the car and looks and goes, oh, runs back in the car. Second person comes out and says, I've been riding for 25 years. This is bad. I'm like, thanks, guy. Third guy comes out and he goes, I'm a deacon at a church, and immediately starts praying over me. I'm like, okay, I'm in a movie right now. This isn't real. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, okay, this isn't, this could get worse. And then, so finally the ambulance comes. They take me to Vanderbilt. During the whole time, I'm cracking jokes with them. And the ambulance driver is like, I don't understand how you're so happy. I said, I'm living the dream. I'm still here. I'm still talking. I'm alive. Get to the hospital, same thing. They start putting me under the surgery immediately to stop the internal bleeding. And they call my mom probably about like an hour into the internal bleeding surgery. And they go, we have to put him under. And she goes, no, it's fine. You can do whatever you want. I don't know why you're calling for permission. And then they said, no, you understand. We gave him enough drugs that he should be under by now. But he won't stop talking to us. And my mom's like, what is he saying? And the doctor's like, well, there's a cute nurse, and he keeps on trying to get her number. And my mom's like, put him out. Just put him out. So I wake up the next day. They do a 6.5-hour surgery on my femur. They put a titanium rod all the way down, 2 screws up there. I wake up the next day, and my mom and sister, my dad are staying next to me. It kind of scares me a little bit because you go to surgery, then you wake up, they're just like, hey. I'm like, oh, hey guys, I'm good, don't worry. Mom was like, how are you doing? I'm like, still living the dream. Life is great. I said, I'm here, I'm talking to you, can't complain. 2 days later, after having a completely shattered pelvis, they put 3 massive rods that go the whole length of my pelvis in the back, a plate in the front of my pelvis with 8 screws coming out the front. I wake up 8.5 hours later after that surgery, and they said, how's your recovery? I said, I'm doing great. I'm still just, I'm living the dream. 10 days later, I leave Vanderbilt. I end up going to assisted living center where I'm being told by all these doctors, they said, you're never going to be able to ski the way you ski, the way you used to ski. You're never going to be able to mountain bike the way you used to mountain bike. You're never going to be able to play hockey again. You might not run again. You might always have a limp. And I would always just look at the doctors, and they'd be like, and? I'm like, yeah, and what? I don't care. That's cool. I'm not going to worry about something that I can't control. I can control only certain things on this, and all I control right now is my mindset. I have to sit in a bed for 3 months, not moving, not sleeping on my side. For side sleepers, you feel my pain. I knew there's some side sleepers out here. So I'm just sitting in the bed, can't move, immobile for 3 months. Have fear, they keep on telling me arthritis, infection, all this other stuff. And I'm just sitting there. Every time anyone comes in and says, how are you doing? I'm living the dream. I'm just living the dream. I'm here. I'm happy. You really can't get me down at all. So as my recovery starts getting more towards the end, and we hit about month 3, my doctors are saying, okay, it'll be about 3 weeks until you can go home. 3 weeks until you'll be able to walk. 3 weeks you'll be able to, you can get up your own stairs at your own house to go to bed. I was like, that sounds good, I'm gonna do 2. And they're like, okay, 2's doable. After about 2 or 3 days of me telling them, I'm gonna do it in 2 weeks, they said, okay, yeah, Stephen, you can definitely do 2. With your work ethic, with your determination, and your mindset, you can do 2 weeks. I'm like, awesome, I'm gonna do 1 week. And they're like, you haven't even stood up yet. You don't know how it's gonna be. I'm like, yeah, well, that's fine. I've always ever done things. I'm gonna turn this up to 11, and I'm going to do 1 week. 6 days after I stood up, I was going home. I was doing stairs. I beat all the doctors. I beat everything they even said by more than half, I want to say. And it was just controlling what I could control. That's all I could do at a time point. And that's anytime anything gets crazy. It doesn't matter what you're doing, work, professional, at home, health. You have to control what you can control, because anything else other than that is completely pointless. You're just wasting your own energy. So controlling what I can control, I'm still supposed to be on a cane until August. I'm supposed to have a limp until August. Yesterday, I rode 8 miles on a bike with a 1,000-foot elevation gain twice, and then I also hiked 3 miles with my dog. So all you have to do is really just control what you can, focus on one thing a day that you can better yourself on, and you can break all the odds. It's actually kind of easy. Trust me.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.